CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
When, if, how, and why Project Rise is going to go global. Guys, the chicken is here. We're back today over here on Chicken Clash talking about some more Project Rise. If you guys have been living under a rock for the past month or so, Clash Heroes has now changed the game name to Project Rise, which I really wish they would give it a different name at this point, because Project Rise is just such a crappy name. I feel like nobody even knows what this game is anymore. They should. I don't know why they wouldn't just keep Clash Heroes, but that's not what we're really talking about today. We're talking about does this game have the ability to go global, and if it does, when can we expect that to come to fruition and to actually happen, and you guys be able to actually play it. So obviously it would go into beta first. I mean, after seeing the release of Squad Busters, it was in beta for it felt like all of 5 seconds. So maybe a huge beta, with a really long trial period, isn't necessarily what Supercell wants to do anymore. And I kind of feel like that way. We've talked about this in some of the previous Project Rise videos, but it seems like Supercell's new thing now is to put more games out there and take more risks, opposed to before when they would only put something out if they knew for a fact it was going to be the next Clash Royale or Brawl Stars or something like that. And going with that sense, I feel like Project Rise or Clash Heroes is kind of less of a risk for them. I feel like Brawl Stars was a big risk because it was totally new IP, right? That they designed from the ground up. Everybody already knows these troops. Everybody already knows the Barbarian. They know the Goblin. They know the Wizards. They know most of them know the Fisherman from Clash Royale and that kind of thing. So I feel like it's, it would make more sense for them to just take the risk on this game and just release it globally. Because I feel like there's kind of a fine line between the game being in development and people being able to see it, and especially if it's in beta and a lot of people are playing it, like what we saw with Clash Mini. I guess we saw the same thing kind of with Brawl Stars too. It was, went back and forth for years, it's going global, is it dying, blah blah blah. So yeah, I feel like it's a little bit less risky because people already know the IP. It seems like everybody is really interested in the game and the gameplay. So yeah, I would not be surprised necessarily if it came out kind of out of nowhere, really quickly. My guess is that it's going to be within 1 year, maybe early 2025 is kind of what my what I would guess. And I've, just for context, I've been covering these games for almost 10 years. So I've been, on the YouTuber side, I guess, with Supercell in terms of, watching the cycle, how long it takes, and that kind of thing. So I feel like I have, fairly good insights on how they make these decisions, but still goes back to what I opened with, where it seems like they're kind of throwing that all out the window. But regardless, I still think, for this to be in alpha and not in beta, if this was a closed beta test, then I'd feel more strongly about it, it might come out in a few months. But since it's alpha, I think they still have a lot of work left to do on the game. And they're not necessarily gauging interest at this point. They're more so just gauging feedback on if the game, works, if it's fun, if people like it, if there's any major problems. So I think they have a lot of stuff left to do before it goes into, a real beta, and then kind of seeing the process, begin from there. But yeah, I mean, it's been nothing but good news for this game. The only mistake I think they've made is changing the name to Project Rise. That I don't understand. Maybe you guys have some thoughts or opinions on that, but I felt like Clash Heroes, I guess the only problem with Clash Heroes was it's been kicked around for so long, and the only videos that I made that seemed to do well was just what happened to Clash Heroes, because people, they remember that name, but it was so long ago. Maybe they would, they associate that with it being older, or I don't know. It came with that announcement in 2021 of the 3 new Clash games, and it just seemed kind of odd to announce them, and then I guess Quest and Mini, we were able to play and look at them fairly early, but it was kind of weird that they announced Heroes. with them, and then just there was nothing. And like there's really, other than until 2 months ago when they announced Project Rise and all that stuff, there really hasn't been a lot of there wasn't any chatter about it. So I don't know if that hurts or helps, but something to take note of anyways. But yeah, I think we'd be looking, guys, at least a 1 year timeline for this game to realistically come out. And that's mostly based on the fact that it was an alpha release, and that typically means that there's still a lot of like actual work to be done on the game itself before they can bring it to everybody. But I mean, you guys know, if you watched some of the previous videos, the playtest I did, which is the gameplay we're watching on the screen here, I had a lot of fun with it, and I really enjoyed all the core stuff. The gameplay worked, the battling was fun. I did find it a little bit repetitive in some moments, but I think that's just kind of how it goes. Now, the other interesting thing is Supercell killed Clash Quest and Clash Mini, partly because those were niche types of games. Now, although Project Rise being a rogue light genre, it's a pretty big genre. Like that's like League of Legends and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, you could make the argument, I guess, that it's they're kind of doing the same thing again. But really, I think what they were doing is they were just testing new game formats and slapping the Clash IP on them and seeing what stuck and what didn't. Because Clash Quest was kind of like a puzzle. Clash Mini was like a chess auto battler, and those are all, although they're technically niche genres, they're they're still fairly popular in their own right. But I think this is the one, Project Rise, that could technically cater to the largest audience. So yeah, I feel like that has the biggest potential, which is probably why they're taking it a little bit slower and want to make sure that it comes out super polished, because if any of those three games were to go global, everyone was kind of feeling that this would be the one right out of the gates. So yeah, that's basically what I think. I think we're looking at a time frame of around 1 year, and we can really, if we don't know for sure by then we'll at least probably have a fairly good idea of the direction that the game is headed at that point. So yeah, that's basically my take, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think, based on your first impressions of the game? And then maybe if you've been, around the Supercell space a bit, watching and stuff like that, interested to hear your thoughts down below. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on Project Rise. We will be able to showcase everything, sneak peeks, info from Supercell as soon as we're allowed to release that to you. It will be posted right here on this channel, so you want to stay up to date. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.